Some see heroes. Others, only egos. We see the era of billionaire athletes. A fad to some, the future of money to others. We see crypto's trillion-dollar swings. The end of jobs, or the end of human struggle. We see the endless funds fueling the AI hype. While others follow the noise, we follow the money.
Please welcome to the stage, Bloomberg's Matt Miller.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Matt Miller from Bloomberg TV. Welcome to Bloomberg House. This is a concept where the idea is that business interests and influence connect, and it's something that we started doing at Davos, and it was extremely successful at Davos as a space for meaningful conversations, but also importantly for connections. So it's as much about what you hear on stage here as it is about who you meet in the house, and it'll be a great place to hang out over the next couple of days. We're bringing this to Miami ahead of, obviously, the main event is, for me, Formula One, but there will be a PGA event here as well, which is now even more important considering we've just broken the news that LIV no longer has backing from Saudi Arabia and will essentially fold. So between tonight and tomorrow, you're going to hear from a really great lineup of people. Not only guests, but also really great journalists are going to be here on stage doing some interviews, including my partner in crime on daytime TV, Danny Berger, from my show, Bloomberg Open Interest, as well as my good friend and my co-host of the podcast, Hot Pursuit, where we focus on cars. Hannah Elliott is going to be coming into town tonight. We're going to have leaders in finance, leaders in technology, entertainment, sports, and obviously fine dining. I just met Mario Carbone, which is kind of a big deal for me. It's not just, as I say, what you hear on stage, it's the people that you meet here, and we hope that you can spend a lot of time at Bloomberg House or at ZZ's. We're going to have a dinner there after this conversation. So I want to welcome Kate Krader. She is our restaurant reporter from Bloomberg Pursuits, and she's in charge of all of our food coverage globally, normally in London. We brought her to Miami for this important event, as well as Mario. I also want to acknowledge our sponsors here. I've met some of them in the room tonight, and I'm pretty excited about their stories to share here at the house and also on my show. Corient is one of the sponsors that has helped us out here tonight, as well as DXC Technology, and throughout the next couple of days, as well as Okta. So we look forward to working closely with them and meeting you. Please welcome Kate and Mario.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. Hi, Kate.
Oh, hi, Mario.
How are you?
How's it going?
I'm good, thanks.
You're right at home here.
Welcome to my living room.
I'm very happy to be here. And we're so glad you guys are all here. And Mario, let's go. Let's get into the spirit of why everyone's here this weekend. Who is your F1 team? Who are you supporting?
So by law, my F1 team is Ferrari, by birth of vowel. But it's a little complicated right now because myself and the other Italian faction are all quietly and secretly also rooting for Kimi Antonelli. So we have Kimi racing for Mercedes on behalf of Italy, and then we've got the team of Italy. So it's conflicting, but it gives us more chances to win, which we like.
I do. I always like when odds go up. I feel like one day we're actually going to see a Carbone-sponsored team, but maybe we'll get to that. That will be a question.
Fueled on pasta?
Yeah, fueled by pasta.
Carbon neutral?
Let's go. Keep talking. Carbon neutral. Carbone neutral, right?
Yes.
Carbone neutral. Let's also talk, one thing we want to talk about is power dining and tough reservations. And so let's flash back. The original Carbone opened in New York, like 13 years ago.
Yes.
That's right. Seems like yesterday. And
you were there.
I was there. True story. But right from the beginning, almost right from the beginning, it became the toughest reservation in town. I wonder, is there anything that happened that made you know, like this is a restaurant, like when you had to make some tough decisions about who could get in, who might have to wait or eat at 5:30?
I think, as you know, it started before Carbone, right? It started at Teresi, our very first restaurant, which was only 6 tables, right, total. And when that started to get momentum, again, thanks to people like yourself, starting to get momentum of what we were doing there, just filling those 6 tables became tricky because that didn't have any reservations. So that was really hard because we were trying to get some people in while also not upsetting everybody that was waiting outside. So that was the beginning of trying to figure that out. And then we took the embers that we had glowing at Teresi and we applied it to Carbone, which was at the time a huge restaurant for us. We went from 6 tables to 85 seats. And originally the concern was, can we fill this, right? Like, forget about the idea of who's coming, who's not coming, how are we gonna be cool? Like, that was not where our mind was. Our mind was like, can we actually fill 80 seats a night? And then again, I think positive momentum, the snowball effect of people coming and journalists writing kind things and us putting out a great product led to the demand. And then demand creates a scarcity model and something that you really can't possibly manipulate, right? Like, you can open something cool and new and have everybody go there, and it's hot for a while and it's difficult to get into, but sustaining it has to be that you're providing a product or a service that is exceptional. And that's really the only way to get to a problem that you're saying, which is who gets in and who doesn't. Like, all the work has now been done. You made something great. You've put out a great product. We've been putting it out for 13 years now, which is incredibly rare to still have a full restaurant after all those years. When you get to the kind of core of your question, like who gets in and who doesn't, if you have that problem, a good problem where the restaurant's going to be full tonight, as a business owner, you now want to figure out, okay, how do I have the 200, if 200 is your capacity, how do I have the 200 most influential people there possible? Now, influential doesn't necessarily need to be celebrity or following. For me, it's a financial thing, right? How do I make sure that I'm going to make the most amount of money tonight out of 200 people? Because that's all I have. And if I leave it to chance, if I just say, okay, here's 200 reservations on open table, I have no idea how much money I'm going to make tonight. I do have a sense of it if I keep track of who my customers are, who my regulars are, and make sure that they have tables all the time, and we keep the place full, but we also keep the business model working, which is really important. And I don't think our industry does a great job of talking about the business model, and that's why it's such a bad business. That's a really long answer to your short question.
Well, I was going to flash back to the original Teresi, but we're going to keep going because what you're talking about is so important because restaurants are so under fire, right? Like, it's getting harder than ever to have a restaurant, and the model, as you say, is broken. But I think, you anticipating who your customers are, who are spending money, there's been like a huge boom in that in businesses that sell reservations, bots and like all those things that have happened. How did you do it pre some of these platforms like Resi or whatever else that have made it easier for you to know who your high spend customers are? Yeah,
I think it started really, really, bare bones. It was literally Kira, who my head of guest relations, who's now a partner in the company, like our reservation team, just by hand keeping track of notes of everybody, which is something that every hotel and restaurant, top restaurants do, because this is our lifeblood. Our customers are our lifeblood. It's the greatest asset that we can possibly have is our customer and our database. So keeping really great notes on everybody and keeping track of everyone is something that was critically important. Now, of course, there's technology that's come out, tons of it, that have made our lives a lot easier and have integrated into reservation systems, and we can keep, digitally keep the notes and moving from platform to platform. Because again, the last thing we want to do, if you have the ability, is to leave to chance who's coming tonight. those are your dollars.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense, but I do think it's quite amazing what you've done, as you say, 13 years to still have the restaurants that's synonymous with the hottest reservation in town, thousands. You have like thousands of people wait list on a night, right?
Yeah.
That's and so do you feel like there's anything you do that keeps that going, that keeps the demand high?
Yeah, we're good at running a restaurant. Like, we're good at running a restaurant. Like, we make good food. We serve great. We're great at customer service. We're excellent at what we do. Because if we weren't, there'd be absolutely no way it'd still be full. So it's a credit to the team and the effort that they put in every day. Because if your product is not great, it will go away, no matter what.
I mean, I think that's true, but there's plenty of, as we both know, plenty of great restaurants that have closed, right? That serve great food and closed. Like, it does seem like you have like an X factor, a special sauce that you have like threaded the needle on it.
Yeah, I think you have to have excellence in several categories. I don't think it's enough to just have great food. You have to have incredible customer service. You have to have, in our case, a great wine list and a beverage, and you have to do your best to excel in all of the categories, because of course the competition is insane. I mean, how many Italian American restaurants are there in New York City?
Oh my God, there's one more. There's like one more every minute. I mean, I'm with you in that you do have like the best maitre d's telling the worst jokes while they mix your Caesar salad. Like, you make it a memorable experience. Yes. But
they think it's funny.
They think it's funny. I mean, you have to laugh. They're bad enough to be funny. No, some of them are good. But I do think you also do, like, really, you've come into experiences in a way that's also served you well. So let's talk about Carbone Beach, which is coming this weekend. So can you talk a little bit about Carbone Beach right now?
Yeah, for sure. So this is the 5th year for us, and it's also the 5th year of the race. So we've been doing it since the beginning, and I think, it came about because when we first found out that Formula One was coming to Miami, we knew immediately that it would be the biggest weekend of the year on the calendar, easily. When the most amount of people are going to descend into this city.
Even more than Art Basel? Like, you saw that coming?
I think so now. I think Art Basel's a longer amount of days, but I think at least for us, what we see financially and numerically, it's the biggest weekend of the year. So we wanted to do something that kind of met the level of what the weekend calls for, what everyone's coming into town. The fans of Formula One is an incredibly affluent group of people. How do we put on a production that's at the level of the race and the people that are coming, and something that can kind of not elevate, but kind of compound the theater of Carbone. We are an experiential, theatrical company. I think that's why we've done so well with the different generations. And so our greatest theater, our biggest production of the year is Carbone Beach, which for me is a throwback to kind of the old supper clubs of what a generation that I missed.
But yeah, I know that you study obsessively, so that's really cool. Can you estimate a little bit about how much more business you do during a weekend like F1?
I would guess it's probably a 20% increase across the board. It's just what Formula One does to a city, which is why cities fight to get the race there. The amount of dollars that are brought into the town, the tourism, what they're looking for, the quality of the customer that's coming in. I can't imagine another event that does that around the world the way Formula One does.
Well, I do want to talk about this a little bit, but I also want to talk about the state of Miami dining a little bit, because it's gotten a little depressed, right? Like, when did you guys open Carbone?
2021, the beginning of 2021. Yep.
And that was right when things were blowing up, right? When
middle
people
of
were
COVID.
Saying, well,
yeah.
you helped light the match, right? But that was like when Wall Street South was everywhere, when you started to hear about all these companies that were opening up big headquarters. Did you see a lot, and you saw that energy like right away, right?
Oh yeah, what was happening here in January of 2021 was like a prohibition party. It was the only place you could get booze. It was crazy. So every night was New Year's Eve. It was really an energy like I've never seen. And of course, that's totally unsustainable, right? I think when we talk about, to your question, when we talk about the landscape of dining in Miami, if anyone thought that that was going to hold the way it was, you're just kind of not paying attention, right? Like the world was closed and Miami was open, right. And we got a huge push. And because of that, I think I wouldn't say it's depressed. I would say it's settled. But where it's settled is still well above where it was prior. So Miami is much better off today than it was pre-COVID. Is it at the same numbers that it was in the middle of it? Of course not. We'll hopefully never see that again because of what was going on in the world. But I think that the dining scene is very robust. The problem that we're having is we maybe are overbuilt. I think a lot of companies, whether it's in residential buildings or in restaurants, saw the boom that was happening. They sort of chased the boom, and by the time their project was actually built and up and running, it had already subsided. So now we're a bit overbuilt in some things, and I think there's going to be a course. We're in the middle of what is probably better defined as a course correction, but I think where it's going to settle and where it is settling is still a really robust and great dining city, and the high tide has risen all the ships here.
I like when things aren't failing, so that's good. But it does seem like Miami is very much experiencing, the epicenter of the K-shaped economy. So do you feel like, big, like there's so many people, or there's several people with so much money who've moved here, right? Like Tom Brady's here now, and maybe somebody from Amazon's here. Like a lot of people with a lot of money are here, but there's also people who are talking about there's not that much in the middle, right? For a K-shaped economy. Are you seeing that in the restaurant? Are you seeing more big spends, like people coming in with big bottles of wine or big overall orders?
Not necessarily. I think, if we look at our numbers, especially in like Carbone, where we can kind of apply that to multiple cities, it's pretty consistent. I think, if you look at wine spend and you look at overall check average, I wouldn't say that there's an anomaly here. I don't think we're having that sort of crazy celebratory spirit that we were having during COVID, where people are buying really expensive bottles of wine. The spend is very much on par with New York City or London right now. So I think it's great from an economical stance, where you get someone like Ken Griffin bringing Citadel here. Well, that's a huge win for the city of Miami and the state of Florida. Individually, that one person can only affect the check average so much, but what he is doing is bringing a huge database of employees that are very well paid to the ecosystem of the restaurant world here, which is a great thing.
Do you think so? So do you think, to go back to F1 being here, if you think that the restaurant economy is doing like pretty well, do you feel like in some other cities like Vegas, like you have a great Carbone in Vegas, which also seems to have been suffering like less tour. They've seen like a noticeable decline in tourism. Do you feel like they need, or how helpful do you think it is to have events like BTS? There's about to be a big BTS concert there in May, and not all the people who are going are Carbone customers. But I remember from the last concert, some of BTS ate at Carbone, and I think that brought in a whole bunch of people who are obsessed with those guys, right? Like, how much does an event like F1 here, like a BTS concert, like Taylor Swift, help restaurants, especially in cities where tourism is key to their business?
Well, what's happening in Vegas, and I think it's pretty much across all the major hotels and trickling down to the restaurants, is the luxury sector is actually doing totally fine and to a certain degree doing well. Where Vegas sort of shot itself in the foot is in the middle, where they began sort of overcharging for the bare essentials of a day. So yes, you can afford the room rate, but everything else was exorbitantly expensive, like you're shopping in an airport, because they just felt they had this captive audience, and to a certain degree they could take advantage of them, and I think they're realizing their mistakes in that. the luxury sector, and we're seeing it at the restaurants at Carbone and others, just like the big suites of the hotels, are doing totally fine. Yeah, the tourism numbers are down, and that's a problem for the city as a whole. But where it's really affecting it is sort of in the middle there, your K-shape. Like the middle has really taken a beating. Those room rates and those customers are not showing up to Las Vegas right now because they've frankly been taken advantage of. What was the original question?
I lost it. No, it was sort of about, it was about how important.
Oh, the
how
events.
important- Yeah.
F1 you really can't beat because of the amount. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of people from around the world that are generally quite affluent coming to a city and inhabiting everything, right? Hotel rooms, restaurants. That's a very tough thing to beat. I would be hard-pressed maybe on a single event happening in the world, Super Bowl, something like that, but like as a traveling circus that F1 is, I can't imagine another thing that would affect it even greater than that.
I love that we're all here for this, right? Like, what a big moment we get to be here for. Like, I feel like this is almost like your prohibition, right? Like the prohibition party.
I'm thankful that those days are past us. Those
No,
were
you're not.
those almost killed me.
Mario loves the past. One thing you probably have picked up from this, Mario is obsessed with history. He is the most excellent student of history. And before you opened, I guess it was the Grill actually, you guys spent so much time in the library, like researching all these like fantastical, like, well, I guess Mama Leone's was pre-Carbone, right?
I've spent a good amount of time in the library looking at menus and researching our projects, and
So cool.
you know, it's theater.
But let's not talk about the past for a minute. Let's talk about the future. So how do you see yourself expanding? Would you do something besides restaurants?
Definitely. I think expansion for us should make sense that we're doing it. I think for those that are our customer base and our fans, when they hear that when they hear that we're doing something, it should make sense to them. But I think looking at the word hospitality and as a bigger entity and not just restaurants and saying, okay, restaurants are always going to be at the core of major food group, but I think that I'd like to challenge myself and my team to start applying what we've learned and what I think makes us special to some of the other subsectors of hospitality, whether that's hotels, branded residential. We're building a tower right now a couple blocks from here called Villa Miami. So that's a project between us and Terra Group, the developer, and we're doing a co-branded residential where I'm doing the restaurants, I design the kitchens and the condos and things like that. I think that's a great example of some of the arenas that we'll go into, certainly consumer packaged goods with the Carbone sauce and things like that. So you're gonna see more of us pushing under the umbrella of hospitality where it makes sense, major food group.
And when is Miami Tower opening?
We're topping off the building this year, and guests or owners of condos will be able to start moving in mid next year.
And do you see any hotels?
For sure, hotels. Because restaurants affect the bottom line of a hotel so greatly these days that I would be remiss if I didn't take a chance on being on the other side of that deal. I'm making, guests are traveling often for the restaurants that are inhabiting these. They're choosing hotels because of the great food and beverage that's there. So if that's the case, then I want to be the owner of the flag of the hotel and not just the restaurateur. It just makes sense. I'm going to cut out the middleman.
I love that. Where are you? So is almost all your energy in Miami right now? Do you see, like, how do you feel about New York City? Let's talk about New York City.
New York is doing record numbers for us.
Really?
New York is absolutely on fire. It's always great when the Knicks are still alive.
Oh yeah, keep talking.
So that's good for all of New York. But New York is doing incredible, and I'm super bullish on New York. We've got a couple of projects in New York that are coming up that are going to be really exciting.
Let's hear about them. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I can't disclose quite yet.
Come on.
But I've got a good one. I've got a good one cooking.
Off the record.
I got a good one cooking. Off
Really,
the
you have a
record.
good
Look
one?
at all these people.
I know. Just kidding. Just kidding. Well, when you feel like talking about it, you know you're going to tell us. But you're also, do you see, is there any one part of the world that you're psyched about? Are you guys doing something in South America?
We just opened in Cartagena, Colombia, which I would have not had on my bingo card, but it's an exceptionally beautiful property. It's a Four Seasons hotel. The Santo Domingo family are the owners of the property, who are very close friends of ours. and it was a chance to do something just it fell under the category of miscellaneous special. Like, it doesn't maybe necessarily make any sense, but it was such a captivating story that we decided to do it. And it opened a couple of weeks ago. It's called the Grand Grill inside of the Four Seasons Hotel, and it's really very beautiful. We have Carbone being built right now in Mexico City, which I'm very excited about. That's under construction right now.
Where's it going to be? Where in Mexico City?
In Polanco.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
Very excited about that as well.
Mario, always awesome to talk to you. Thank you guys for being here.
All right, that was very, very cool. I wanted to, first of all, Mario, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to going to all those locations with Kate. Before we move to cocktails, I want to, first of all, thank our sponsors. Again, Corient. I've already met some people from Corient here. DXC Technology, as well as Okta. And then I want to encourage all of you to drink as much as you can here tonight, and then come back tomorrow, because we have such an exceptional program. We have major business leaders. We were talking about Citadel. I'm going to talk to Scott Rubner tomorrow from Citadel. I'm very excited about that. We're going to talk with Toma Bravo tomorrow from Orlando Bravo. We're going to talk with George Perez tomorrow from Related, but we're also going to talk about the sports. So Mattia Binotto, formerly of Ferrari, now at Audi, is going to come on and talk to us. Susie Wolf, I'm really excited to talk to tomorrow about not only the Academy, but also her new book. And we're going to talk with Dan Tauris about Cadillac, one of the many new entrants. We have two of the big new entrants. So a lot going on here. Hope to see you again tomorrow, and thank you so much for coming. And by the way, come and say hello to me if you're interested. I love meeting new people. I love getting new intel, so give me any of the tidbits you can. Thank you so much.